And it comes from some local firefighters. They want to set the record straight. Amanda Shivari has a story you won't see anywhere else.
Janet, from business owners to law enforcement, even our viewers, we've heard from dozens of people about the SAFE Act. Many of you feel it's not making you safer. The law was signed shortly after 2 West Webster firefighters were murdered in 2012. And tonight, for the first time, a group of local firefighters opens up about the controversial gun law and whether it's made their jobs any safer. Every day, they're out in the community, taking calls and helping people. Firefighters, they're like a brotherhood. And there's one thing that many are standing against. It's the New York SAFE Act.
To try to capitalize, to push an agenda, especially for a politically ambitious governor who's looking at the presidency, doesn't sit well with me.
And the governor took it upon himself to use us as a pawn, and I think most of us are not very happy about that.
They're from West Webster, Irondequoit, Rochester, and other departments in Monroe and Wayne counties. They want you to know how they feel. So they came to us.
You should not be doing that. You should not be taking our rights away.
Former Webster Fire Chief Craig Atkins gives us a unique perspective.
A lot of people, I think, they really thought that the firefighters were 100% behind the SAFE Act.
In fact, these firefighters and many others oppose parts of the SAFE Act, especially when it comes to making certain guns illegal and the requirements for background checks for buying ammunition.
We are for stiffer penalties for illegal guns. Anybody that wants to kill a first responder, by far, those are great.
Without a doubt, the events on Christmas Eve 2012 changed the mentality of a first responder.
We have several firefighters now that feel very unsafe going to calls.
Does the SAFE Act make you feel safer in any way in that regard?
Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all.
The SAFE Act, ironically named, doesn't make anybody any safer, in my opinion. And yes, the events of Christmas Eve last year definitely changed your mindset as a first responder. In fact, in Honey Falls, about 3 weeks after that incident last year, we had a call for a shooting, and that was the first thing that goes through my mind.
For this brotherhood, the SAFE Act to them is not a step in the right direction.
The state used the quote fire department name to enact the SAFE Act and to sign the SAFE Act in Rochester.
Some of these men knew and worked with the victims of the West Webster shooting.
It's hurtful to us because one of the victims was a gun advocate, a big gun advocate, and I know he really wouldn't be happy right now knowing that any laws were enacted because of anything he had involvement with.
And tonight at 7 on Rock City, we will share with you some of the comments we've received on the SAFE Act, and there are a whole lot of them. If you would like to join in on this conversation, reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter.